If you're down, if you're underemployed, looking for a career change, need to brush up on your typing skills, your office skills, or just, it's the right place to come.
It's making a difference.
My miracle happened.
They see qualities in me that I couldn't see myself.
We're focused on outcomes and focused on long-term change. Twin Cities Rise, at its core, works with people who have the most challenges in attaining employment. We focus on that segment of the population, those people who go other places and just don't succeed. Twin Cities Rise is at the forefront and right at the epicenter of addressing this issue of how do we engage a third of the people in our country in meaningful work. Well, this is in some ways the last stop for many people. Are they going to get on this path to economic self-sufficiency? Are they going to earn a wage that can sustain their family? Or are they going to end up in the criminal justice system or in some other system?
So, if we want to turn things around, that's what we're all here to do, right? As far as our, what? Employment and life, right. What we want to help you do here at Twin Cities Rise is not just get a job, but keep it.
What's key in empowerment, beyond just the idea that we need to learn how to be in relationship with someone, is at its core, is being in relationship with yourself.
I was really, really, really depressed. And everything I seen was negative. Everybody that I talked to, whatever they said to me, I took as negative, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have a job. I was drinking very heavily, and I didn't really have a place to stay.
One of the things that Twin Cities Rise attempts to do is get the incentives right so that an individual is really motivated to improve their life and to make a positive contribution and to have as full and enriching a life as possible.
I came to Twin Cities Rise in 2003. I hadn't found employment for a couple years. I was homeless. But I ran across Twin Cities Rise and found out that they work with individuals with backgrounds, and they help you to get a job for free if you're committed. And I was like, wow, I don't care if it takes 10 years. Whatever it is I have to do, I'll do it.
The original impetus for Twin Cities Rise really was a focus on African American males. But what we realized over the last 20 years is that the things that we do here are relevant to all low-income people. What we do is too important to not share.
I was married for 23 years, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. The kids don't need me. My marriage failed. My whole thought process was, I'm a failure. I fell into depression, which led me to wanting to turn off the voice in my head that said you're worthless. My solution to quieting that voice was addiction, because I figured if I drank enough, maybe I'd get really lucky and I wouldn't wake up. Went to treatment, and they mentioned this place called Twin Cities Rise.
I didn't have my diploma or my GED, and so I got tired of lying to jobs. And so that's what initially brought me to Twin Cities Rise, my desire to get my GED. Once I got in, I realized that I was hurting more than what I let on. For 20-something years, I was walking around with this weight on my shoulder. And then once you finally get it lifted and the shame is gone, the joy that I felt was just unexplainable.
If it wasn't for Twin Cities Rise, and this is from my heart, completely honest, I don't know where I'd be, because the staff at Twin Cities Rise are the ones who helped me get my confidence back.
We know at the end of the day, no matter how great our training is, if there isn't a job at the end of it, it's an empty promise. We have always focused on employers, and our reputation is such is that people take chances. Why? Because they know when a Twin Cities Rise participant goes there, they have a team behind them. They know they've gone through this long process of learning about themselves, learning how to present themselves, and so literally we are putting our reputation in line with every participant. After 20 years, all the employers who've been with us are still with us, and that list is growing.
Pearson Candy has been around for 105 years now. When you're hiring, especially at certain levels, the odds of finding a good fit and having a long-lasting employment situation unfold are not great in the workplace in general. One of the things that impressed us about Twin Cities Rise, their job candidates tend to stay at their employers for longer than your average employee. Well, anything an employer can do to reduce employee turnover has amazing impact. If you have a chance to hire a good person and make a significant difference in somebody's life, or make a significant difference in the community, what a great thing to be able to do.
I'm working at Hope Harbor. Hope Harbor is a transitional housing for people that's coming from homelessness. I'm doing front desk and security. Twin Cities Rise taught me to not look down on anybody because it doesn't feel good to feel like somebody's degrading you, to feel like somebody's dehumanizing you. But they said because I treat them like human beings, you know, they love it when I'm there working.
Going into the future, are we going to leave a third of our people behind? Or are they going to be part of the larger story? And something about America is that we uniquely value work. That is at the core of some of our most basic sense of self-respect and worth is what we do.
I think TC Rise has a shot of being replicated beyond the Twin Cities area. I think the fundamental principles that it is built upon have utility in other job training programs, but even in other areas.
People come in here, like myself, and are really messed up psychologically, and the change, the paradigm shift that you have while you're here, it's worth any amount of money that anybody can put into it. Corporations that do help support, we thank you from the bottom of my heart, I do. This has been life-changing for me. If I didn't go to Twin Cities Rise, who knows? But because I did, I seen the change and I felt the change that it brings. If I was a millionaire, I'd definitely support it.
We're moving, I think, to a place of redemption where we're figuring out as a society there's value in reclaiming people. Every person has value. And if they find their way to Twin Cities Rise, we're going to make that value and help them realize their full potential and change the life of their family and the community. That's the power.